everyone, welcome to this lesson. That's lesson 2 for unit 3. Do not just dream, do not just dream, make it happen. So we'll be talking about three big topics for today. We will be talking about firstly, self-efficacy theory by Albert Bandura. We will be discussing high versus low self-efficacy. So people with high self-efficacy is different from people with low self-efficacy. And then we will be talking about the influencers of self-efficacy. So unsa may mga variables na maka-affect sa inyong self-efficacy. Okay? So that's for part 1. For part 2, we'll be talk about the fixed and growth mindset ni Carol Dweck. They're actually related no sa self-efficacy theory ni Bandura. And lastly, we'll be talking about goal setting theory. This is really relevant in today's age, especially we're bombarded by a lot of negative news sa social media. We're experiencing a lot of adversity starting from 2020 pa lang sa pandemic, and now we're recently fresh out from Typhoon Odette, no? Cebu's very big or major typhoon so far na na-experience. A lot of people don't have internets yet. So this is really relevant and it will be relevant in the future kay di kita mahutdan og mga problema na sulbaron, mga kaagi yung tamutdan ana. So hopefully you will learn something no from this one na madala ninyo even after this lesson and after this course and after your year and after graduation. Okay, so let's start with self-efficacy theory. Unsa nang self-efficacy? Maka nosebleed man, no? Self-efficacy is a personal judgment. Inyong estimates, inyong kakayanan, no? Whether maayo mo or di mo maayo ani na certain action, ani na certain activity, ani na certain situation based sa inyong skills, no? In your knowledge. So it's further divided into two na siya duha ka aspect. We have the outcome expectancy and we have the efficacy expectation. Unsa nang outcome expectancy? It's the person's estimate that a given behavior will lead to certain outcomes. So again, it's the technical part, no? It's my estimate na kani siya na ay certain outcome. So whether example na ay final exams, no? And ako ang estimates outcome is probably around 90 over 100. So 90 to 100 kay nagtuon mo kog tarong. And I listened well to the teacher or to the professor. So that's your outcome expectancy, no? Your estimate of a certain outcome given your behavior na nagtuon mo. So the behavior there is studying. The outcome is you scoring higher than 90. And that estimation is your outcome expectancy. Okay, klaro ra? Okay. So, efficacy expectation naman class is the conviction that one can successfully execute the behavior required to produce the outcomes. Now, it's your conviction, it's your commitment, and your motivation aspect. These two go hand in hand. Nga naman, if you have the outcome expectancy, if you believe yourself to be perfect ka ani na test, pero wa kay motivation to actually perform the test, then that will affect your self-efficacy. Of course, you will not do that thing. No? You will not perform the action, no matter your estimation of your skills. So these two go hand in hand. Now, if you have the outcome expectancy, if you have the motivation, you don't have the outcome expectancy, then that will also affect your self-efficacy. Later on, we will further elaborate what I meant by this one. Let's first distinguish between high and low self-efficacy. I'm not really subjecting that those people with low self-efficacy are bad people and those people with high self-efficacy are good people. I'm saying that high self-efficacy people have more effective strategies in life. No, they cope better and they're more successful because of their attributes. Unsa man ang attributes nila? Number 1, they approach difficult tasks as challenges to be mastered. Di sila mahadlok kung malisdan sila ana na task. Rather, they would see it as a challenge. They would see it as a way to improve themselves. No? So, if, for example, dili ko maayo og reading and writing, I would see that as a challenge. Okay, why not learn? No? Learn to read and write. Then I will be improving. No, they approach difficult tasks as challenges rather than obstacles. There's a difference. No? Mura magug ang challenge is you're you're there, no, you're there na you want to cope your obstacle kay murag balakid na ay dili na lang ko ani nabutang. Okay? So number 2, they set challenging goals and maintain strong commitment to them. So di lang ko mag-goal og putyo-putyo, di lang ko mag-goal og mga chipipay na goals. I would set goals that will improve myself, will improve my circumstances. I will set goals that will improve society in general. Or I will set goals that will help, no? The collective, the human collective, or ang tao, tanang tao. So, and I'm very committed to these goals. So, no matter the obstacles that I'll be facing, I will stick by it no matter what. Mo na siya kung kaya kag self-efficacy. Kung sa may mo challenges padayon nagyapon kag tuon. Bisag nag-pandemic, online class was hard when it was 2020. Everybody was adjusting pero ni-enroll ka. That is also indicative of you having high self-efficacy. Next, you heighten or sustain efforts in the face of failures or setbacks. So when you are failing, you don't really see it as, ay, di na lang ko pilde man. No? You see it as, okay, what can I learn from this? Napildi ko. So this is actually not just about studying, ha? You can actually relate this to gaming, for example. So napildi ko ani na session, nga naman, okay, what do I need to learn from this one? So probably you have high self-efficacy. Next, you attribute failure to insufficient effort and deficient knowledge and skills, which are acquirable rather than mana ka na. Mana na-fail ko, kaya wa ko'y talent. Okay? You would say this, na-fail ko or nahagbong ko kay kuwang ko tuon. Wa ko ni basag tarong. Kung low kag self-efficacy mo, anak ka, nahagbong ko kay bugo ko. Okay? So, that is something you cannot improve upon, no? That mindset, that way of thinking. So again, people with high self-efficacy, you attribute failure to insufficient effort or deficient knowledge. Number 5, you approach threatening situations with assurance that you can exercise control over the threatening situation. What are examples of threatening situation? Most recently, the typhoon. So you would think, if you have high self-efficacy, ma-overcome ni, pangitanan ni paagi. Sakit mo budget mo, pero pakitaan ni paagi and di ni forever, okay? So, walay forever ani na, maski ang happy na butang, kung ang happy na butang, why forever ang sad na butang, ang imong mga challenges, di po na siya forever. So, gana ang high self-efficacy, people with high self-efficacy. Now, people with low self-efficacy, of course, inverted sa people with high self-efficacy. So may number 1, they shy away from tasks they view as personal threats. They feel like, di mo kumayan niya, bugo mo kog math. Di na lang mo take og ka ng kurso na dagang math. Okay, so probably with math, you have low self-efficacy. So you have low aspirations and weak commitment to goals that you choose to pursue. So na-pursue ka na. Naningkamot ko mo 1.0 sa understanding na self. Pak, kay nag-plagiarize man. Gagmay score. Okay? Ay, di na lang ko basta pasar lang ko. Pasar lang. Kamot lang ko. Kuhaan na siguro ko sa mga bonus points para pasar ko. Okay? So, you're probably a person with low self-efficacy. Okay? Because you were not committed. You had a goal. Then you did not stick by it because of one failure, because of one setback. Okay? Number 3, you dwell on personal deficiencies, on your obstacles and your adverse outcomes, rather than concentrating on how to perform successfully. So rather than thinking of better ways to approach the problem, you dwell on the problem. You dwell on the reason na fail ka or nga nahagbong ka. Okay? So, rather than mana ka na, unsa kay kuwang no, nako, nganong wala ako ka-attain sa akong goal na 1.0. What can I do better the next time? You would rather dwell on your personal deficiencies. You would say, kuy laptop, kuy cellphone. I did not say this will not matter. It will matter, of course. Your resources or the privilege that you're born with will usually affect how easy life is for you. But, again, manang admirable kayong rags to riches na story, no? Because despite the balakid of the lacking na resources, nakaya niya to be successful. So, people na not born with wealth, but we're able to attain the success that they define with, no, because we have different definition of success. You probably have a high self-efficacy because you did not dwell on your personal deficiencies. You did not accept no as the answer. Kumbaga, no, when there is murag kumbaga ba, see it as an analogy class na if slaman gi sirad ang mong door, you do not dwell na gisirad ang kag door. You find another open doors, or you rather find keys to open another door. You find ways. BDO. Okay, number 4, you slacken their efforts and give up quickly in the face of difficulties. Okay, so I already mentioned this one from 1, 2, 3. And number 5, you're slow to recover your sense of self-efficacy following failures. So, ma-fail lagi kay kausa, di na ka mo try balik. Ma-reject na gali kag kausa, di na ka mo try balik. No? So, you're very slow in recovering your sense of self-esteem once na-fail ka. Kaya nga naman, bati man imo pagtanaw sa failure. Para nimo ang failure deficiency, not a stepping stone to learn better, to be better as a person. So, that's actually connected sa fixed and growth mindset ni Carol Dweck, which I will be discussing later on. And number 6, you fall easy victim to stress and depression. Dili ka strong og mentality. Okay? There are people na depressed, but they can overcome it, no, through therapy, through exercising, meditating, eating healthy, no. So if you have low self-efficacy, you fall easy victim to stress and depression. You let depression eat you whole, no. Depression is not something to be tread with lightly, and it does not mean to say that you have everything, you're not allowed to be depressed. Okay, there are various causes of depression, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. But my best advice, or my kuan na siguro, is to not hide it, because there's nothing to be ashamed of yet if you're depressed, if you're anxious, especially with the things that we're experiencing karon, no? Bombarded 24/7 by negative news. In Australia, forest fires. In another country, an impending war. Experiencing typhoon on the other hand, plus the added burden of being a student and submitting requirements. Of course, kisay di maapektuhan ang mental health, ana, right? So, if you have high self-efficacy, if you aim to have high self-efficacy, you would search for strategies to cope, to live life despite or in spite of having depression. So next we will be discussing or talking about unsa may mga maka-affect, no, sa imuhang efficacy, self-efficacy. Firstly, your mastery experiences or your past logs sa successes, or inyong mga sa may term na easy ano. So panalitan nakadaog kag MTAP contest, your self-efficacy would probably very strong in terms sa imong mathematical ability kay nakay past experience na nakadaog kag mathematical competition. Okay, so one is your mastery experiences. Number 2, vicarious experiences, your models. So it's affected by degree of similarity sa inyong model. So if for example the activity or the activity is modeling. If ako model si Kendall Jenner, pareha rami babae pero di mi pareha og circumstances, di mi pareha na kanang dato si Kendall, no? So probably in terms of modeling, di po mi pareha ka ng height and lawas. It would be very low if ako model si Kendall. But if my model is my sister in a separate activity, so say for example, learning math, no? Probably I would have a high self-efficacy in terms of learning math. A personal experience that I would like to share you, class, is when I was in elementary, math ang pinaka-low na ko ng subject. Super low kay kong math class, to the point na nahagbong ko. And whether you believe it or not, I actually perform statistics karon. I read data, and I'm not really scared of numbers, and it's because of my model. Who's my model? My parents, no, my sisters, So, maragdakan ako na, if they can learn, no, math, then I can also learn math. Gana. Okay, next is social persuasion. No, you can provide a temporary boost in perceived ability. Yes, unsay chika ning temporary nga temporary naman. Na naman because the people around you will really affect how you perceive yourself. But it will just come to a point, uh, but to a certain point lang. So let's let's delve with the two coins, no, two side of the coin. Say for example, people are telling you na you cannot do it. So say, di ko pwede ma-tiktoker, ay, di mo ka funny, or di nga na. But you continued on despite the persuasion, no, that efficacy na, di ka pwede, pagkuan na lang. Ano. Now, your reality are actually feeding your thoughts. Nagsige kag make of TikTok and every day you're getting views, you're getting likes, you're getting content, no? And your content is also not trash. Ha? Your content is really well crafted. You're getting feedback your from your followers. So of course, your social persuasion will only boost that, or bring you down with at a certain point, pero dira ra sila kutob if you allow them to. On the other side of the coin, ang positive pud ana, no? Magsige sila ingon nimo na, kaya na nimo. Kaya nimo ma-model ana something like that, or kaya nimo ang math. Pero one or continuous failure of contests would really change that, which would change your efficacy. Your, so, kung sige ko kahagbong og math niya, ako ang ginikanan diri mo na, bright kang math, kay bright po kang math, kaya na nimo. Pero, sige na kong hagbong og math. That will also, that will lower my self-efficacy sa math despite the social persuasion na sige sila ingon kaya nimo. Okay? So your reality will feed your thoughts and your thoughts will manifest your reality. Okay? Next is physiological states. Your stress, tension, your fatigues affect perception of ability. We talked about this during the previous slide, no, about depression, your current state, your current affect. So it actually influence your self-efficacy. If your brain right now is functioning, it's healthy, you're actually flourishing. So naamoy higher self-efficacy and naamoy mas taas na, remember the first aspect of self-efficacy, the efficiency expectations. So you have higher motivation to learn a certain thing, to overcome a challenge, to learn a difficult task because of your affect. So, mana siyang upat ka buok. Again, mastery experiences your previous successes of a certain skill or activity. Vicarious experiences your models. Of course, it will relate to or it will heavily affect how similar your models are. Social persuasion, but it will only affect at a certain point, not really that much na effect. And of course, your physiological states. Now we have here Bandura's quotes, no, about self-efficacy. Now my task for you is to choose a quote that you what's the term? Kana bitong. All right. So where were we? I don't think about the quote, no. Choose one siguro na reflective sa inyo, ha? So makarelate mo na quote about self-efficacy. For me, it's the lavender, no? Self-belief does not necessarily ensure success. So it doesn't mean that you believe in yourself, successful na ka in whatever bagay. Pero self-doubts or self-disbelief will 100% mura mong itukmod sa failure, ana, will pave way for failure. So the minute that you begin to doubt yourself, assured of failure na ka. So, which is why it's very important na you fight your brain, no? You fight these self-sabotaging thoughts na you're not enough, di ka kaya, uy, ngano nagkatuyang man kag enroll ron, di man nimo kaya. Crush that class, okay? Because thoughts are powerful. By sticking it out through tough times, people emerge from adversity with a strong sense of efficacy. So if you've reached this far without dropping out, just trying your best, to learn as much as you can, to comply as much as you can from your professors, then assuredly, class, once you graduate, you will have a higher self-efficacy as you being a student and a learner. Okay, so this is all related, no, katong learning to be a better learner. It will make you a better learner. It will make you a better person, and it will make you a better player in this thing called life. I will end this one since it's already 20 minutes. On our next lecture, in our next episode, we will be talking about fixed and growth mindset. So sorry class for the lighting na na-change, kaya nag-brown out. But hopefully, ma-record yun na video, no? Is actually my third try in recording this video. Nako po. So anyway, thank you class, no, for reaching this far.